I finished this documentary on Hulu, and oh my God, I can't recommend it enough. So I was 8 years old when Katrina happened, so honestly, the most knowledge I had about Katrina was that the levees broke. And I thought it was all just a tragic accident. I was wrong. What I didn't really understand before watching this documentary was that a lot of the people that were stuck in New Orleans either didn't have the finances to get out when it was a mandatory evacuation because they didn't have a car, or they were elderly, disabled, whatever reason. A lot of people could not evacuate. And so they decided to open up the Superdome, which is good. They supplied them with shelter, but they had no plan for these people after the storm was over with. They had no food, no water, no real resources, and they had no plan for the evacuation of the people who stayed in their homes and were on the rooftops and being rescued. They just took them back to the Superdome. So you had tens of thousands of people stuck in this Superdome for over 5 days. I didn't realize that the busing did not come for these people for over 5 days. Mostly because of misinformation. They didn't think it was safe to go down there, which is insane. You're just seeing video footage of people holding babies and elderly people just sitting in the hot New Orleans sun with no food and no water, and they had no plan for these people. And when they have actually evacuated them, they took them on planes throughout the entire country. Like, they took them to Chicago, to Houston, they took them everywhere. So these people were completely displaced from their homes, and they just had no plan for these people. And one thing I did like about this documentary that I definitely didn't know about is the environmental factors of why New Orleans flooded so bad and like what kind of led up to it. I didn't realize that like over 2,000 square miles of New Orleans swamp has been completely just decimated because of the oil industry and just completely depleting these plants and stuff, I guess, of their nutrients. I don't know the scientific reasoning, but 2,000 square miles since 1930 of the Louisiana swamp has disappeared. And usually when hurricanes happen, that kind of absorbs the flooding, I guess, and they don't have that anymore. And I don't know, so much information is talked about in this documentary that I just was completely unaware of, and I highly recommend watching it. Oh, and I also want to add, my sister recently visited New Orleans, and she went and visited a mass grave. So many people died that could not be identified. They have mass graves that you can go and visit in New Orleans. I was so ignorant and unaware of this. I want to think about this for a while.